Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today's episode is about the music featured in the pilot episode of The Bear. The Bear starts out as a story about an Italian beef shop called The Beef, based off the famous Chicago institution of Mr. Beef, located in the northwest quadrant of the River North neighborhood. Why is it called River North? Because it's north of the famous Chicago River. The protagonist is Carmen, aka Carmi Bertazzo, an established, highly decorated chef who returns to his hometown of Chicago, Illinois, to take over operations of his brother Michael's beef shop after Michael willed it to him. We eventually discover that Michael took his own life in dramatic fashion, leaving behind his mother Donna, his two siblings Natalie and Carmen, his best friend Richie, and several employees of The Beef. Carmi's tattoo, 773 on his left arm, refers to Chicagoland area code 773, which was implemented in October 1996 after Chicagoland was running out of phone numbers due to proliferation of cell phones, pagers, and fax machines. Carmi is played by Jeremy Allen White, famous for Shameless and most recently playing Bruce Springsteen in the film Deliver Me from Nowhere, a movie that I was very excited to see, however it left me disappointed. Richie is played by Eben MOSS-BACHRACH, if I'm pronouncing that right, famous for Girls and Andor, and currently plays the role of Ben Grimm / The Thing of the Fantastic Four in the current Marvel Cinematic Universe. The pilot episode is essentially broken down into 4 parts, and so here we go with part 1. It opens with Carmi's dream sequence. He is on the bridge, the Clark Street Bridge, and he releases a bear. He wakes up and he's in his restaurant and he answers the door. It is the beef delivery man who only has 25 pounds of beef when he ordered 200. We then learn of his brother's death. We see Ball Breaker, the arcade game, for the first time. We meet Tina, the line cook. We see a Tom Cruise movie poster from 1983, All the Right Moves. We see Carmi try to resolve the beef shortage with a Chi-Chi Meat Connect. And we see a montage of him running all over Chicago. The Ball Breaker tournament announcement. We meet Sydney, who is applying for the Sue position. And then we meet other employees of the Beef, Ibra, Marcus, and Gary. So the first of our songs we hear is called New Noise. From the third album by Swedish hardcore punk band called Refused, is released in October 1998. The song is heard when Carmi wakes up from his dream on the Clark Street Bridge where he was face to face with an uncaged bear. The second song we hear is called Old Engine Oil by the Budos Band. The Budos Band is a North American instrumental band from Staten Island, New York, formed in 2005, and Old Engine Oil is from their 5th studio album, The Budos Band V or 5, released in April 2019. When we hear the song, it is preceded by the opening guitar riff from New Noise. The song is heard as Carmi runs through the streets of Chicago in an effort to procure more beef from his associate Chi-Chi. The third song is Don't Give a Damn by Serengeti. Serengeti is a Chicago rapper / hip-hop artist who has been active since 2003. The song is from his 2013 extended play, CAB. The song is heard when Chef Carmi tells Chef Sydney that he is there at the Beef to make sandwiches. Here we are in part 2. Enter Richie, the family friend slash manager. A tense atmosphere gets dramatically worse by a factor of 100 after Richie appears. Long story short, Richie is the strong-willed manager who was best friends with Carmi and Natalie's brother, Michael. Carmi and Richie refer to each other as cousin, however, they are not related. The fourth song we hear is Don't Blame Steve, the second song by Serengeti to be heard in the pilot episode. This comes from the 2012 EP, Kenny Dennis, aka Kenny Dennis and Percolators. The song plays as tensions continue to escalate in the kitchen between Richie and Carmi. A lot happens in part 3, so I divided it into two parts, 3A and 3B. We meet two great characters, Neil Fack, who is a old family friend slash handyman, and we finally meet Carmi's sister, Natalie, aka Sugar. Natalie only appears in essentially one scene in this pilot episode, however, she has a major role as the show progresses. During the scene between Carmi and Natalie, we hear the fifth song, Via Chicago, by Wilco, an American rock band based in Chicago. The band was formed in 1994 by the remaining members after the breakup of alternative country group Uncle Tupelo. Via Chicago is from their third studio album, 1999's Summer Teeth. And once again, we hear the medley of New Noise and Old Engine Oil as Carmi gathers Tina, Ibra, and Marcus to try the new beef sandwiches. Here we go with part 3B. The ball breaker crowd has gathered outside as Carmi, Tina, Neil, and Marcus look on from inside the restaurant. Sydney's family lunch is ready and the group congregates at the table to eat. Carmi goes outside to interact with the crowd and it does not go well, but he is saved by Richie. Richie announces to the group that the entrance fee is the cost of one Italian beef combo and the winner receives free Italian ice for 1 year. The sixth song is Bulls on Parade, the Rage Against the Machine song that has been reinterpreted as an instrumental orchestral piece credited to Walt Ribeiro in January 2011. The original song appeared on Rage Against the Machine's second studio album, Evil Empire, released in April 1996. The song appears as Carmi, Tina, Neil, and Marcus look outside the glass windows at the crowd that has gathered, mostly dressed as characters from the Ball Breaker arcade game. And here we are, the fourth and final part. The aftermath of the rowdy ball breaker crowd. Richie versus Carmi. Richie insists Carmi go back to the kitchen and make the spaghetti, which is one of the most popular items. When nobody's looking, Richie finds one of Carmi's beef sandwiches, takes a bite, and even he can't deny how good it is. Marcus and Carmi have a good bonding moment where Marcus is appreciative of Carmi's suggestion of the use of a steam tray to make the rolls come out better. And in frustration, Carmi throws away a can of tomatoes, and the end credits roll, punctuated by the heart-hitting song by Pearl Jam, Animal, from their second studio album, Versus, released in October 1993. Pearl Jam promoted the album with the Versus Tour of 1993/1994. Of course, they played Chicago, and on March 10th, 1994, they performed at Chicago Stadium, which no longer exists, as it was replaced by the United Center right across the street. The New Noise guitar riff will be heard again. More songs by the Budos Band will be heard in Season 1. More songs by Serengeti will be heard in Season 1. More songs by Wilco will be heard throughout the series. Pearl Jam will be heard again in Season 2. And more songs by Eddie Vedder will be heard throughout the series. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around. There's lots of music in The Bear, so there is potential for lots of videos. Please like and subscribe. Thanks again.